Judy Blevins. And next up will be Drew.
Thank you. I'm Judy Blevins, and I'd like to talk about the Battleground City Council issues today. In the 34 years I've lived in Battleground, our city council has always been busy trying to attract more business opportunities, but I felt that how that's affecting present and future residents has had little input from us. And since I try to vote for those who seem best at caring for citizens of our nation, state, and city, that cause becomes more important leading up to any election. Now that we're finding out that Doug Wilson is attempting to promote and that Longview city councilors have been present at all of our county council meetings as an influence for years, I have questions that I want answered. Are you councilors from Longview also at all the other Clark County City Council meetings each month? And are there councilors from other cities here too? I'd like some answers about that. The council and the police know who's here, but it's time to show yourself as our neighbors, not another version of what you'd like us in our county to be. Every one of us here wants to also be considered upstanding. And we live in a world where pedophilia and child trafficking is continually present. We have programs trying to keep our children safe, but what are we doing with the background checks on those who get elected to act as representatives and senators, school boards, and other programs that affect our youth and families? What about our sheriffs, our police officers, and others who are in contact with our youth? We in Battleground and our neighboring communities surely want to be known as a hospitable community here in Battleground. Instead, will the main focus still stay on the particular faith, culture, and national background of people that Doug Wilson and some of the city council seek to put into place to deport or precariously support anyone who's in our country? Thank you.
Thank you, Judy. Drew, you're up, followed by Liz S.
2 weeks ago, the mayor and 3 city council members voted to fire the city manager without cause. The mayor told OPB that the city council was exercising their authority when they fired her, though I think flexing would be more accurate. The mayor gave short notice, but people showed up anyways. And they spoke about the city manager and what she had done for them and what she meant to them and why she should stay. The mayor and city council listened to the community speak, and with hearts of stone, Mayor Overholser, Deputy Mayor Vale, Council Members Ferrer, and Councilmember Munson voted to fire the city manager anyway, with no reason given except the mayor's desire to see it done. Was it loyalty or obligation which moved council members to vote with the mayor? Perhaps it was something else. I wonder what could have swayed them, what they would have needed to hear to change their minds. I wonder if they ever had any attention to, or if their minds have already been made by someone else. And I wonder if Maddox employees are at-will hires like the city manager was. Thank you.
Thank you, Drew. Liz, you are up, followed by Colleen Eubanks.
Well, let us have the grace to live by the values we profess and examples, even those who we meet disagreement and anger, division, or contempt. Resist the temptation to answer cruelty with cruelty. Recognize the capacity for change others without ignoring the harm they have caused. Remembering that redemption requires accountability as well as opportunity to do better. When confronted by aggression or injustice, have the courage neither to seek vengeance nor cruelty, surrender to it, stand our ground with dignity, defend ourselves when necessary, and defend those whose voices are too easily ignored. Do not condemn people who simply for what they believe, do not believe, have the humility to question our own certainty, seek the truth, even when it makes us uncomfortable, and change our minds when reason and evidence demands it. Lift up those who have been pushed down, challenge arrogance when power has allowed it to flourish. Remember that leadership is service, not dominion. Defend the marginalized without exploiting their suffering for your own status, ideology, influence, or gain. Judge our principles not by how loudly we proclaim them, but how faithfully we practice them, especially when doing so is inconvenient. Be peacemakers without becoming passive in the face of injustice. Build community without demanding conformity. Seek understanding without surrendering reason. Defend freedom of conscious equality, the freedom to believe, the freedom to question, the freedom to doubt, and the freedom not to believe at all. And when we fail these principles, as human beings inevitably will, let us have the humility to acknowledge the harm, make amends where we can, learn from our mistakes, and choose a better path. None of us is beyond accountability, and none of us should be denied the possibility of becoming better than we were yesterday. Let our actions be guided not by fear or division, but by compassion, reason, justice, and our shared humanity. Thank you. Have a night, and Amen.
Thank you, Liz. Colleen, you are up, followed by Karen Scott.
Hello, maybe I can hold this a little bit more steady than I did a couple weeks ago. Good evening, Honorable Mayor, Deputy Mayor, and council members. And thank you for this opportunity to once again speak to you about the sale of Battleground Mobile Home Community, manufactured home community on Southwest 7th Avenue. My name is Colleen Eubanks, and I am the acting spokesperson for the tenant group at the park. Our park has been here in Battleground for over 50 years, and we have an estimated 350 residents there, most of which are seniors, in addition to a number of families. Up until 4 years ago, our park was affordable, and in the last 4 years, our rents have gone up over $400 a month per month. There has been a substantial increase in park ownership by investors across the country, with residents facing closures and displacement, losing everything they have worked for. Despite assurances from the current owner that the intent of the buyer is to maintain the park as an MHC without legally binding documents, contracts, or deed stipulations, the assurances are worthless, and we have indeed gotten those. In our case, the investors' offer to purchase the park serves to effectively eliminate our opportunity to fairly compete for purchase. There is simply not enough time for the group to come up with an estimated $40 million in the time frame that the state allows us in the code, and it's clearly not right. To protect our homes and community, we are asking the City Council to enact zoning and or overlay measures to keep the park secure as affordable senior housing, similar to what the action taken by Clark County Council. We are also left without partners referred to us by the Department of Commerce, such as the Northwest Community Development Center, or also known as ROC, who also do not have the resources to assist us. They have suggested that we do this on our own, and we are trying. It's clear we need help, partners, guidance, and significant funding. We ask the city to assist in any of these areas through grants or meaningful referrals, whatever you can do.
Thank you, Colleen.
Okay, thank you.
Next up, Karen Scott, followed by Fia Marie.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and council members. I am a resident of Battleground Manufactured Senior Home Community. 2 weeks ago, the Battleground Council heard a report from the Council on Aging. They reported that in the near future, 1 of 4 citizens in Clark County will be a senior. Where will they all be living? Right now, my senior community of 186 units is in the process of being sold. It is very likely that the land our homes sit on will be repurposed and will be expected to walk away from our homes without any compensation. The expectation is that we can move our homes, but the reality is it is expensive to move our homes, and we would need a place to move them to. The logistics and cost of moving a manufactured home is a nightmare that many seniors cannot afford or deal with. For many seniors, apartment living isn't feasible for many reasons. Older people need to live on a first floor so they don't have to climb stairs. Many seniors have mobility issues and they need to be able to park close to the entrance of their homes. Parking in most apartment complexes are not assigned, and walking a long distance can be an issue. Also, apartments cannot be modified to accommodate a senior's needs. Owning our own home solves these problems, as we can fix our homes to accommodate any of those issues. The people owning a manufactured home cannot afford a traditional home, but some of us are lucky enough to afford a manufactured home. Living in a senior community has its benefits, as we are surrounded by other seniors who have the same aging issues. We can share our problems and our solutions. Living in Battleground, where we live, is a huge advantage. We have access to the stores we need. Emergency services is around the corner from us. We have a safe neighborhood in which we feel comfortable. Affordable housing is a problem in Clark County. My hope is the council will prevent the land my community sits on from being repurposed. Thank you for your support and time.
Thank you, Karen. Fia Marie, you are up, followed by Holland Martin.
Love doing that. Hello, my name's Sister Fia Marie. I'm your local everyday Pacific Northwest anti-fascist punk rock trans femme ordained nun by the Church of the Holy Molies. Today I ask the congregation to open the good book to the book of Maddox, chapter 69, verses 6-7. And then ultra-conservative, far-right white Jesus stepped onto the mound and addressed his followers. O ye of little mind and even less tolerance, hear me, for a white man is speaking. And a hush fell over his bigoted crowd. I speak to you today of the revised 10 commandments, for you so pick and choose which ones you are going to follow anyway. Number 1, capitalism is the Lord thy God. Thou shalt have no other gods before it. 2, thou shalt not take my name in vain, unless it's during really good sex or you're going to direct it at marginalized peoples. Number 3, honor the holy day, but only if you are wealthy enough to take it off. Otherwise, you must be forced to work a minimum wage job that is still not enough to pay your rent. Number 4, honor your father and mother by electing officials that completely gut their health care, their retirement, their social security, their veterans benefits, leaving them to die alone, afraid, and in poverty. Number 5, thou shalt not kill unless you're a member of ICE or the police, and then you can do so indiscriminately without facing any charges, especially if we're murdering unarmed, marginalized peoples. Number 6, thou shalt not commit adultery. You know what? Scratch that one. You may not lie with your sister or brother as you would your wife or husband. Your cousin is probably okay, though. Number 7, you shall not steal from large corporations or the billionaire pedophiles that run your nation. You may steal from the poor through taxation. Number 8, you shall not bear false witness, but you can send a bear to maul children for laughing at bald white men. Number 9, you shall not cover your neighbor's wife, because after all, she's his property, and we value property more than anything else around here, don't we? Number 10, you shall make no idols before me, except athletes, entertainers, billionaires, mediocre sensationalist debaters who pick on college students, or presidents with terrible tans and even worse hairpieces. If you would please bow your heads, O Lord, we ask you watch over our community's most vulnerable peoples, the wealthy elitist and their lapdog cowardice, mouth dog lap pieces, as they slowly destroy the fabric of society and guide them into the sweet release of the guillotine that the people have awaiting them. God bless anti-fascists, God bless Antifa, and God dim imperialism, Christian nationalism, fascism, and the majority of this council. Amen.
Thank you, Fia. Holland, you're up, followed by Win Gersich.
Good evening. I am really,
Oh, 1 second. We're not allowed to hand out publications here. Thank you. Go ahead, Holland. Sorry, we'll reset your time. You're good.
good evening, city councils, members. Tonight, I am speaking out about the misconduct with C-Tran. I've been on those buses since 2018, and there's been some misconduct with drivers recently on routes, hiding alcohol from me, being intoxicated, having an attitude problem with me. And I've been bullied by a few of them. Also, we need to look into the misconduct with C-Tran, and hopefully they can change their conduct. I'm really concerned with the ICE presence in Battleground. I've seen undercover ICE agent vehicles in Battleground just driving around. And I was on a walk the other day and I just saw one circling around, and they're out there. And we have to be vigilant around us and watch our surroundings, help our neighbors. And I'm really concerned. There's been a lot of ICE presence at the Battleground Walmart, and they took somebody away recently. So I don't want that to happen. So also, I'm really concerned about the misconduct with how there's ICE. They have been just harassing people, trying to harass me, even though I'm walking by myself. And we need to put a stop to it. Also, we need to, again, stay vigilant and watch our surroundings. I cannot let our Battleground residents go through this ordeal. We are hardworking families. We are hardworking individuals. We pay taxes. We go to work. And with the ICE presence in our city, it has become a nightmare. So please look into that so it doesn't happen again. Thank you.
Thank you, Holland. Win Gersich, followed by Jessica Cole.
My name is Win Gersich, and I congratulate you for not renewing your city manager's contract. And I hope it sets precedents in other cities and stuff too. Because if you don't like something right now, they're having a recall on the mayor of Seattle. I know you've all heard that one, right? So they're trying to get rid of people that are not doing what the public wants. And it's important that people understand that You're supposed to represent the people, even though they're not. And this New World Order stuff, communism, you get no choice. So what you did was really something. And I tell you, I sent that to everybody to see what Battleground did. Anyway, one of the things that I think is needed here is your Battleground pharmacy in Walmart needs a pharmaceutical drop-off. They don't have one, and yet it's a huge pharmacy. So where are your pharmaceutical drop-offs in Battleground? And if you don't have them there, they should be either the police station or some place where people can take their stuff. Today, I went to Walmart on 99th Street, and the thing was full. So you have to take your stuff home, or they say go to Safeway, and it's full. These things need to be picked up weekly, not every other week. And if it was at the police station, people could drop the stuff off. It's being protected. It's in a container that nobody can reach in and steal the stuff. You know, I've got a bunch of old vitamins I want to get rid of, and I'm sure people just throw those in the trash. So pharmaceutical drop-offs is super important. One other thing, too, is the fact that Dr. Russell Blaylock wrote about this. Geoengineering, spraying air with various chemicals to fight so-called global warming should be discontinued immediately because it puts huge amounts of nano-aluminum into the atmosphere. He says, I warned you years ago, if inhaling through the nose nano-aluminum carried into the brain and deposited is associated to Alzheimer's disease. I predicted years ago that we could see drastic increases in Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease as a result of global engineering. Neurodegenerative diseases have risen exponentially since then. You could have Dane Wigington be one of your guests and actually tell you what's happening. They almost burned his house down. They caught the forest on fire, and he was videotaping that while these trees were burning. And it's important that people know all the things that causes Alzheimer's are fluoridated water is one of them too. And I think you should go back and have another session on that. And the people should be able to vote when they're non-consenting, not some dentists that think that dentists should not tell the public. That's malpractice.
Thank you, Wynn. That's your time. For the public's information, I believe we have a pharmaceutical drug drop-off at the Battleground Police Station. That is a secure drop-off. Yeah, and as a matter of fact, our next speaker might be able to speak to that. Jessica Cole, followed by David Terry.
I don't have time to speak to that today. My name is Jessica Cole. First, at the special meeting, someone called a local church, the one that the mayor attends, a Christian Nationalist church. And to my knowledge, that is not true. I've been at public meetings where people say things about me that aren't true. While that's allowed by freedom of speech, I wish people would give accurate information because it's about individuals, so it would build community, not tear it apart. I also read the recent reporting about complaints involving the former city manager, Kris Swanson, and it puts some previous council discussions into a very different perspective. The first complaints involving parking enforcement resulted in an independent third-party investigation, and they cleared the city manager of wrongdoing. Knowing that now, I think back when several council members piled on the city manager for not having information to share about the police award ceremony. That was information that hadn't been given to her in the first place. I specifically remember Deputy Mayor Amy Vale going overboard praising the police chief during that discussion. Looking back, it appears to me that some city councilors weren't approaching the conflict between the police department and the city manager from a neutral position. Then there was a second separate complaint sent to the mayor. Those apparently weren't independently investigated before 4 council members voted to fire the city manager without cause or explanation. I'm surprised that Ms. Ferrer voted along with councilors who at the meeting prior to that were mocking her. And I'm disappointed that Mr. Munson voted for it when he consistently talks about saving money, and this is going to cost a lot of money. If those complaints were serious enough to influence her termination, why weren't they investigated? And if they weren't the reason she was fired, why are they now being pointed to as an explanation? I also question why employee complaints are being directed to elected officials instead of going through the city's HR process. The more we learn about what happened before this firing, the more concerned I am that the city manager wasn't given a fair and neutral process. Seems that there's been trouble stirred up behind the scenes for quite some time now. And while I don't know everyone who's been involved, I don't appreciate seeing some of our city council members contributing to it. Our community needs peace, stability, and cooperation, not more division and dysfunction. And since I actually do have some more time, yes, we have a drop box for medications at the police department. We have one in Safeway. We have one in Albertsons. And those are the ones that I can remember off the top of my head. We also do drug take back twice a year in September and October. And you could, no sharps to those. And you could go down to the transfer station on 503 to do sharps drop off. You could go in and they guide you. It's easy, even though it looks creepy, it's really easy. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. David Terry, followed by Amelia Palaki.
Hi, I'm David Terry. I'm a Battleground resident, and I'm pretty pissed about what the council did last week. I was out of town. And I'd just like to address the staggering and entirely avoidable financial hit that this is going to infect our taxpayers in Battleground. When this council voted 4-3 to terminate the city manager without cause, it triggered a massive guaranteed payout funded straight out of our pockets. Let's look closely at the numbers you guys approved. The severance package price, it's going to be about $315,000. That's to let Kris walk away and do nothing for an entire year when she could have been here as a city manager. You fired without cause. What was Kris doing wrong? I think you guys need to be responsible enough to the citizens of this town to tell us why she was really fired, right? Not, you don't just send somebody away for $300,000 and say, Jack, say nothing. We're going to have to pay for recruitment and search costs. Okay. That is not going to come cheap. I did some research in what it's going to cost in Washington, and it's typically between 25 and 33% of a candidate's first year total compensation. That's going to add $60,000 to $70,000 more dollars onto the bill if we can even find someone who will come and work for this council. You guys have done nothing in the time you've been in office. Nothing. Please tell me one accomplishment that you've made. I mean, please explain to all of us. What could we have done with that money? It's going to come out to be around $500,000 at the least. We could have gotten a pool for that money. Instead, we made somebody who seems perfectly competent to us. We let them walk away. In fact, we kicked him out the door. And that's if we don't get sued. And what is that going to cost if we get sued? So what is really the cost? It translates to about $50 for every single household in Battleground. If you guys walked around to the households and asked us for $50 to fire the city manager, how many citizens do you think would actually say, oh yeah, here's my $50? If you walked around and asked for a pool, maybe it'd be a different story. You've totally wasted our money. I don't know how you could face the citizens by doing this. Let's talk about some more. That's about $100,000 or more for every counselor that voted for this. How many counselors think they would do that again? How many approve of spending $100,000 of our money? Please raise your hand for me. I'd like to see who really supports that. I don't know why you guys are afraid to not raise your hands and show us. Every single household in Battleground is dealing with economic pressures, carefully balancing their own budgets and expecting local government to do the same. Instead, the council is treated.
Thank you, David. That's your time. Amelia?
I'm brand new, and I'm so nervous. The mayor and the member of council. Valley Scholar International Nursing student from the island of Tonga to the front line of the healthcare. Valley Scholar is building and preach, one nursing at a time. there is quite a reservation that happening across the South Pacific in Tonga. The need of a skilled nursing has never been a greater. Healthcare is a crisis. It is real. But it's a hope that Valley's color. Sorry. This is a hope that Valley's color believe answering has answered right here in the heart of Tonga, the brightest of young people ready to learn and heal and be a leader. We're removing every barrier. We open every door. Selecting a student to receiving a full fund to enter the journey to be a Bachelor of Science of Nursing, BSN, in the United States. Tuition fee, full cover, room and board provided, meal, transportation, textbook, and other supply included. Hands-on clinical experience with the study we built in. There is no, I'm so sorry. This is a very hard for us to create that for the community, Tongan community here in America, but we're trying to move our community to help our Tongan students. Once we help them, in every donation, it goes directly. We're just asking to a direction to get funded by the leader. And we are here. We live here in Battleground since 2005. Thank you.
Thank you, Amelia.
Is it possible, Amelia, I'm not sure that I could hear everything you were saying. Are you able to leave your notes with the clerk so we could read them?
I will.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I'm brand new and I haven't been, this is my first time.
No, you did great. All right. We will move on to the consent agenda.